Arena Master Kothron stood at the edge of the massive crystalline platform, his forearms crossed, as he surveyed the assembled competitors for the 847th Galactic Combat Championship. Below him, in the vast spherical arena that could be reconfigured into any environment imaginable, representatives from 43 star systems prepared for the most prestigious and deadly tournament in known space. The Saurian champions flexed their razor-sharp claws, each one capable of slicing through starship hull plating. The Mechanoid Empire had sent their latest war droid, a towering construct of adaptive metal and plasma weaponry. The Vorthan telepaths meditated in perfect stillness, their minds capable of crushing opponents with pure psychic force. Each species had earned their place through centuries of dominance in their respective regions of the galaxy. And then there were the humans. Kothron's mandibles clicked with barely contained amusement as he observed the three representatives from the Sol system. They looked absurdly fragile compared to the other competitors. No natural armor, no claws, no visible cybernetic enhancements, no psychic emanations. Just three bipedal mammals in simple clothing, huddled together and apparently talking to each other. Citizens of the galaxy, Kothron's voice boomed across the arena, transmitted to billions of viewers throughout civilized space. Welcome to the 847th Championship, where only the strongest, fastest, and most cunning survive. The crowd's roar was deafening. This year, we have a special entry. He gestured toward the human delegation with one of his lower arms, and the arena's holographic displays zoomed in on them. The crowd's enthusiasm immediately transformed into laughter. From the primitive Sol system, a species that has barely achieved faster than light travel, we present humans. Kothron's tone dripped with condescension. Let's see how long these soft-bodied newcomers last against the galaxy's apex predators. In the viewing booth, reserved for galactic dignitaries, Ambassador Thexville of the Dominion leaned toward his companion. "This is almost cruel," he rumbled through his translation device. "Those creatures won't last 5 minutes against a Saurian, let alone the mechanoid war droid." But Admiral Krenax of the Star Legion wasn't laughing. She had studied the humans' recent activities, their rapid expansion, their unusual military tactics. "Don't underestimate them too quickly," she warned. "They conquered their entire home system in less than 50 years after achieving spaceflight. That's unprecedented." The tournament began with the preliminary rounds. Traditional combat single competitors facing off in various environments until only 8 remained. The arena transformed into a molten hellscape for the first match. The Thermarch champion, a being of living lava, faced off against the human designated as Sarah Chen. The crowd expected the match to last seconds. The Thermarch's body temperature alone should have killed the human instantly. Instead, Chen pulled something from her equipment belt that nobody recognized. A small cylindrical device that she aimed at the ground beneath the Thermarch. Suddenly, the molten surface began to cool and solidify at an incredible rate. "What in the 7 hells is that?" Kothron demanded. His technical advisor checked the readings frantically. "It appears to be some kind of rapid heat extraction device. Sir, the temperature in that area has dropped 3,000 degrees in seconds." Chen didn't stop there. As the Thermarch stumbled on the rapidly cooling ground, she deployed a second device that began spraying what appeared to be water, but water that somehow maintained its liquid state even at the extreme temperatures of the arena. Within minutes, the Thermarch, a being that had never been defeated in a thermal environment, was encased in a shell of rapidly cooled rock, effectively immobilized. The arena fell silent. "Technical victory, human Chen," Kothron announced, his voice betraying his confusion. The second human, introduced as Marcus Torres, faced the Graviton Lord in an environment of crushing gravitational fields. The Lord, evolved on a world with gravity 60 times that of Earth, should have been able to crush the human with a thought. Torres calmly assembled what looked like a mechanical exoskeleton around himself. But as the Graviton Lord increased the local gravity, something strange happened. Torres didn't fight the gravitational force, he redirected it. His suit somehow captured the gravitational energy and converted it into momentum, turning the Lord's own attacks into propulsion. The crowd watched in stunned silence as Torres literally surfed the gravitational waves, moving faster and more unpredictably with each of the Lord's attacks. When he finally reached his opponent, he delivered a single punch enhanced by the redirected gravitational force. The Graviton Lord, who had never been physically touched by an opponent, collapsed. By the time the third human, David Park, defeated the psionic overlord by using what appeared to be a device that generated white noise in telepathic frequencies, the arena's atmosphere had completely changed. How? Ambassador Thexville whispered. How are they doing this? Admiral Krenak studied the human tactics with growing understanding. They're not trying to be stronger or faster or more psychically powerful, she realized. They're engineers. Every challenge they face, they're treating it as a technical problem to solve. The pattern continued through the elimination rounds. Where other species relied on natural evolution or technological enhancement of their existing abilities, humans used tools specifically designed to counter their opponent's strengths. They carried solutions to problems they hadn't even encountered yet. When the Chronarch tried to slow down time around Sarah Chen, she activated a device that somehow synchronized her temporal state with the distortion. When the Phase Lord attempted to become intangible, Marcus Torres deployed a field generator that forced matter into coherent states. When the Mind Render tried to invade David Park's consciousness, his neural interface created multiple false personalities as decoys. In the final match, all three humans faced the reigning champion, a collective entity known as the Swarm of Worlds, which had held the title for 6 consecutive tournaments. The Swarm was thousands of interconnected combat forms, sharing a single intelligence, capable of adapting to any strategy in real time. The humans looked at each other, nodded, and did something that stunned everyone watching. They worked together. Not just as a team, every species had tried teamwork against the Swarm. The humans synchronized their individual tools into a single, coordinated system. Chen's thermal manipulators created temperature differentials that Torres's gravity redirectors used to generate massive air currents. Park's neural interface connected all three humans into a temporary shared consciousness, while simultaneously jamming the Swarm's own coordination signals. Within minutes, the Swarm of Worlds, which had never lost a match, was divided, confused, and systematically dismantled by opponents using equipment they'd apparently built specifically for this purpose. As the arena erupted in shocked silence, Kothran realized something that would change how the galaxy viewed humanity forever. They hadn't just entered the tournament to compete. They'd entered to study their opponents, understand their capabilities, and develop countermeasures. The humans hadn't come to prove they were the strongest species in the galaxy. They'd come to prove they were the smartest. And that, it turned out, was far more dangerous.